Hello lovelies, welcome back to All My Yum's Kitchen. I hope you all are well. Yes, it's been a minute. Sorry I've been missing in action. Life has been living, but we thank God is good. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this delicious homemade kombucha. Kombucha has come to be part of my diet, especially if you're in this perimenopause menopause age. It is something you should consider adding to your diet. It is good for your gut health. It is good and rich in antioxidants. It helps with inflammation and it helps your digestive system. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to be making use of some tea bags. These are just English breakfast tea, some white sugar, and the most important component, the SCOBY, that's the flat one in the bowl, and the liquid, which is the already fermented kombucha. I will explain to you as we go along, but let's first brew our tea. This, like I said, this is just normal English breakfast tea. Any brand will do. This is the brand I find here, but if you like also you can make use of loose tea leaves, but I find this easier to manage, so, and it does the job for me. So you're going to add some boiling water to your tea and then add your sugar immediately. This is to help to dissolve the sugar, and you're just going to leave your tea to brew. Yep, and there you have it. My phone decided to ring during this voiceover. My husband called me, so we're just going to leave it that way and move on. Sorry, this video is, I'm kind of all over the place. It's been a minute, okay? So this is me just stirring the sugar in to make sure that it dissolves properly. So this is half of the water that I'm going to be using in this kombucha. The other half of my water is going to be added in cold. This is to help my tea to cool down quicker, okay? So instead of boiling 2 liters of water and steeping my tea in it, I only boiled 1 liter, steeped my tea in it, added my sugar. So the other 1 liter of water is going to be added in cold. This is to, just to speed up the process, because sometimes I can be impatient, okay? Well, if you have the time, honestly, you can steep your tea, the quantity of water that you're going to use, and just wait it out and allow it to cool. But this is the way I do mine, and it's been working, okay? I steep my tea for about 5 minutes with the sugar, and I went ahead to pour it into the jar that I'm going to be fermenting my kombucha in. This has always worked, like I said, except for one time that I decided to try with flavored tea. I think I used jasmine tea and it didn't work. I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, let's move on. So this is me trying to pour in the cold water. So I added the cold water into the jar. I encourage you to use a glass jar as well. And this is my SCOBY. Your SCOBY is very, very important. You're going to be needing the SCOBY and the starter tea. The starter tea is unflavored tea. It's just a fermented kombucha, not the one with flavor, okay? So this is from my previous kombucha batch. So you're going to pour that in. I kept about 300 mils of that to add in. So this is very, 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 very important. And the SCOBY is the layer of bacteria that forms at the top of your kombucha. You're going to turn it in as well, and you're going to cover everything. In case you're wondering, how do I even get all this? I kid you not, you can get kombucha starter off of Amazon, or you can get from a friend that is already making kombucha. You'll see me later. I'll be making some SCOBY for my friends to share with them so that they can start their own kombucha journey. Or you can buy kombucha, unflavored kombucha from the shop, not the one with any flavor, any fruit, and you just pour it into a jar and leave it maybe for about a week or two. Then it will form the jelly-like stuff on the top. Of course, your SCOBY will not be as strong as mine at the beginning, but over time it becomes stronger. Okay, so this is me. I usually cover my jar with kitchen towel, and I will write the date that I started the fermentation on the side so that I don't forget, and then I'll place the cover of the jar on top. So this is to avoid any unwanted bacteria that are not needed in the jar. Okay, so you're just going to leave it on the side. So in this jar I've just poured some normal kombucha from my already fermented one, and I added a bit of sweet tea and placed it on the side. I'm going to be growing some kombucha and scoby for my friend. So after 7 days, my kombucha is now ready. And this is why I use a jar with tap. You do not have to use a jar with tap, but I like to use a jar with tap because it's so easy for me to drain it out like this and start another fermentation. So this is after 7 days. This is what it looks like. It looks bubbly, it's less sweeter. I usually don't like going for a second fermentation. You do a second fermentation if you want some flavor or maybe you want it sweeter. And when you're doing that, you can add some fruit like apples, you can add kiwi, you can add whatever you like. But I just like to enjoy it like this. I just prefer this, not that it is better in my opinion, but because I just like it plain. I'm cutting down calories, I'm cutting down my calorie intake and whatever I take in. So this is already so good for me. It's not water, because sometimes I can struggle with water, but this one, after eating, I can just put some ice in a glass and top it up and enjoy. So I continue to drain my already fermented kombucha and filled up my other small glasses, and I'm going to be storing this in the fridge until I finish it. Could be a week, could be more, could be less, depending on how many people drink it. And that's my scoby at the bottom of the jar. I'm going to also keep some already fermented kombucha. Remember, you need your scoby and already fermented kombucha before you can, which is like your starter. So the scoby plus already fermented tea is your starter. So this is me trying to set aside some of this already fermented kombucha so that I can make the next batch of my kombucha. And like I said earlier on, honestly, if you're going through perimenopause, menopause stage of life, or even if you have maybe digestive issue or you're looking to make your your diet better, this is a very, very good addition. It costs a fortune in the shop. A small glass of 300 or 400 mils cost a lot of money. So making it and knowing that it's just your tea and made from sweet tea is just super, super fascinating for me, and I just love to include this in my diet. It has helped my digestive system a lot, and I believe it is doing a lot of things for me, because I'm trying to do everything now with this stage of life that I am in. In the past, when you're younger, you don't need to do much. Your body system is functioning the way it should. Not that it's still not functioning now, but sometimes it needs a bit of aid, and to know that this tastes delicious as well, it's a plus. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Let me know if you have any question in the comment section. Ask me any question, let me know. I'll be happy to guide you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Oh my, for your intercontinental dishes.